All right, welcome back, Coach. The final episode of the regular season of the Kim McNeill podcast. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Good. All right, and we got one game left in the regular season. Kind of heading into that, and then the tournament starts next week. What are the overall feelings of the team right now heading into the last stretch?
Yeah, I think and myself and the staff, of course, are feeling pretty good right now. I think we're playing our best basketball. Some people can say, how can you say that after coming off of a loss on Sunday? But I think our defense is getting better. I think we're playing harder. I think we're executing our offense much better than we were at the beginning of the year. So I've seen huge strides, from this team from November to now. And I always say it, you want to be playing your best basketball, going into tournament play, and I really think we are.
Yeah, and one of the things that could help you play your best basketball is on Sunday we saw the return of McNeill, who played her first conference game. She'd been out since Christmas. Came in and started with 2 blocks in about 3 seconds, so that's a way to welcome back. But what can she give you these next couple games on the court?
Yeah, it's hard, being out a month and a half and, hadn't played in, 14 games, So a lot of times, even though Danae has been, doing individual workouts and she's been in practice, it's just being in that game mode that it takes time, to get yourself back going. But I definitely think she can be another scorer for us. Defensively, she's long, she's able to get her hands on, on balls and get deflections. But I just think, she's another weapon that people have to, be aware of that I think is going to help Tess, free up a little bit on the wing.
In the past couple of games, last week you go to Cincinnati and you have a big lead and they come back, then you hold on at the end. And then kind of the flip side against USF, who's one of the top teams in the conference, you give them a good game, but they pull away at the end. Could kind of being in those close games help where tournament time where things are going to tighten up a little bit?
Definitely. I mean, you take every situation. From wins, you take things that you can get better at. There's always lessons in every game. And, obviously Cincinnati was a lesson on, not to play to lose. I thought that's what we did the second half. We played not to lose instead of continuing to put our foot on the pedal and continuing to drive that lead up. And then against, South Florida, a really good team, at one point of the year, top 25 team, top 15 team in the country. And, we knew going into it was going to be a battle on the boards. Those two, post players that they got are ferocious on the boards. I mean, they do an unbelievable job. And I knew it was going to come down to offensive rebounding, and then that's what it did. So, some executing a little bit better down the stretch offensively, I thought we could get better at. But, there's always room for improvement. There's always room to learn.
Offensively, for you guys, the stat sheet starts with Rosie Thompson. She had 29 points against USF, her 6th straight game, which is 1 away from the school record, which is held by Rosie Thompson and Kathy Riley. Prediction: is she gonna tie that record maybe on Wednesday?
I think she definitely will.
Yeah. And we've talked all season about how great she is. It's kind of hard to say over and over how good she is. It just kind of gets almost like routine that she's getting these 20-point games. But I want to ask, what all of the great players you've coached, what maybe stands out about Tanayas, both maybe on or off the court?
I just think Tess is, she's, I like to call her the silent assassin. Most kids that I've coached that, have been that good, have been like a little bit more vocal. They're there. From a vocal standpoint, they're always saying, Taz is just really quiet. She's to herself. She just goes about her business and gets it done. She's in the gym all the time. She comes to practice every day. Willing to work. She's been here the last 2 or 3 weeks, really staying in the gym. Her and Sania Johnson with Coach Corey, and I think you can see both of their confidence growing. The more you stay in the gym, the more confidence you grow, and I think that's what she's doing. And I just think she's just a silent killer. That's what I like to call her.
And she's still got 2 more years of eligibility here. Maybe Rosie Thompson's career record might be in jeopardy, which is crazy to say with how many points she scored. But what over the next 2 years and maybe heading to the next level for Taz, what kind of things can she improve on still?
Yeah, I just, every year she's gotten better. This year she really, added, getting to the rim, to her game. I think the first 2 years she was, a 2-level scorer, was shooting a 3 and hitting the pull-up. This year she's really, bought into getting into the rim, going into the goal, and getting to the free throw line, which I think has really caused her numbers to go up because she's shooting, 80%, I think, from the free throw line here in these games that she's got these 20-point games. But I think, obviously continuing to work on her handles, continuing to, get her conditioning and get her lateral movement a little bit quicker, are some things that she can continue to work on. And, you can never get enough reps up, wanting to continue to get up your shooting percentage. So, just staying in the gym.
Mm-hmm. And while Taz has 2 years left, you have a group of 4 who these next 2 games could potentially be their last. So there's a sense of urgency there. What is this senior class meant to you on and off the court?
Yeah, I mean, this senior class, a maturity level, just experience, obviously with Tyler Bennett and Deja, coming in from other programs. Obviously, both of them being a part of NCAA teams, understanding like what it's supposed to look like, the mentality that you need to have in order to, have a successful program to get, to the NCAA tournament. I think that maturity level has helped us a lot. Raven just her perseverance and just showing, all the young kids, if you really want something, you gotta work for it. You gotta be patient for it. With all the injuries that she's gone through and, not hanging up her hat, continuing to come every day and working for it. And then, Tierra Chambers, she still has another year. So, she could be back in a ECU jersey. Who knows?
She could join Raven double senior days.
There you go.
Last year, came back again. So looking ahead, we got headed to Memphis for the regular season finale on Wednesday night, a team who you had maybe your best defensive effort here against at home. What sort of challenges do you think they'll bring in their home court?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a scary game. Mm-hmm. I mean, we beat them pretty good here, and so you got, they haven't had a game. They were off this week, so you got to think that they're in the gym, bringing up. We may see a total different system on tomorrow. Obviously, what they had the first time didn't work as well as they had hoped. So you don't know. We really don't know what to expect. 'Cause I would be willing to say they're going to come in with a totally different offense. A totally different way. To break our press. I do think that I'm confident that Jefferson is going to try to dribble through us. Because she's so quick. One of the quickest kids in this league. So. It's really, we don't know what to expect. So, we'll go out here and practice today and just continue to, fine-tune our principles in our press, fine-tune our principles, in our matchup and continue to work our offense.
And potentially, starting next week for the tournament, you could see Memphis again, that immediate rematch. Have you ever seen that situation where you play a team once and you've got turn around, play them right again?
I think I've seen it one time. But, hopefully, we're going to come out with the win tomorrow, and then, to beat a team 3 times, it's pretty hard to do. But, I'm just looking forward to just taking one game at a time, Pat, really focusing on the game tomorrow, controlling our own destiny, and all the other cards will fall where they're supposed to fall, and we'll go from there.
And after Wednesday, the fans love this time of year. There's games everywhere, but coaches, there's a lot of pressure, quick turnarounds. What does the tournament look like on with the coaching staff and the players?
Well, for us, I think it's a good thing as far as prep, because majority of these teams that, we're going to play, you talk about Memphis, we're going to come off seeing them. So there's really not a lot of you got to do. And then obviously if we win that game, if the cards fall where everybody thinks they're going to fall, we're going to turn around and play South Florida again, Central Florida, which, that is, that's a matchup. That was our first matchup of conference play, 2 teams that are very, very similar. So when you think about conference play, at least you've seen each team once or maybe twice. So it's not like you're going into a situation where you know nothing about the team. Each team knows about each other. So the prep is obviously a little bit easier than what it was at the beginning of the season.
Gotcha. And we've mentioned a few times throughout the show, Rosie Thompson, as well as this weekend, Mary Dankler-Schoof was honored in the men's game for All-America season, and then Rosie was honored on Sunday at our game. What was, I saw the picture of the team with Mary on Saturday. What's the impact of seeing the people for the team now, the players that paved the way for them?
I think it's huge, for us to be a part of that ceremony, and her being the first women's basketball player to have a banner hung in there. I could look at a Tanayas Thompson thinking like, hey, well, I want my banner, raised in here one day, So I think it's really encouraging, it's really exciting to be a part of really history, for women's basketball here at ECU.
And the last thing, how, full year, we don't have any more games at Minji's. How was Pirate Nation in Minji's this season?
Yeah, I thought Pirate Nation was good. Obviously, still dealing with COVID, early, during the season, people still kind of the unknown. And I thought here, the latter part of the season when, COVID kind of slowed down a little bit, you could see, the attendance picking up a little bit. I hope and pray that next season, that we're not dealing with COVID and that we can get Minji's loud and get people back here. And, we got local products coming here, and Amaya Joyner coming to join the team next year. So I hope we can get Minji's even louder and rowdier next year.
First couple games before that, though. starting Wednesday, and then next week at the
There
tournament.
you go.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you for all your time this season.
Thank you, Pat.